Home Solutions Studios, this is Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560, The Answer.
If you're looking for the latest news, insight into what it means, and the sharpest opinion, there's only one station in Chicago where you can turn, and it's this one. We're AM 560, The Answer.
Top of the morning, Dan and Amy. I guess I should correct a record. I said that State Senator Darren Bailey is the first Republican gubernatorial candidate to select a running mate. Max Solomon, who's an attorney from the south suburbs, has also selected a running mate. I don't know Max, but I know his running mate. We've had her on the show, Letitia Fields. And I like Letitia Fields a lot. So we'll have to get them on as well. And one thing to remember, too, people may forget this sort of a relatively recent change. It's only been around for a couple of cycles. It wasn't the case when I ran in 2010. Where you, as a candidate for governor, have to select your lieutenant governor you run as a ticket.
Right.
Like at the presidential level, it used to be lieutenant governor candidates ran independently, no longer the case.
Yes, because was Scott Cohen, remember?
Yes,
Okay.
right. The Democrats didn't like that. That's right. Good recall. And so Darren Bailey has selected, he announced yesterday morning, they announced Stephanie Trussell. And we know Stephanie. I actually have an interesting history with Stephanie because when I was at WLS doing the show with Bruce Wolf, we did this Talk Idol contest for a few years.
Yeah.
And Stephanie Trussell was where the winner got a show on the weekends at WLS, and Stephanie Trussell was the first winner. She was wasn't Kelly Clarkson the first winner of American Idol?
Yes.
She was our Kelly Clarkson. She was the first winner of the Talk Idol contest at WLS, and so she had a show on WLS for quite a while.
And then moved over here to AM 560 for a while, too. But here is the big announcement. It's made in Rockford, Illinois.
I'm Stephanie Trussell, and I'm no stranger to overcoming adversity. In fact, I did it before I was even born. My mother chose life, and I've been blazing trails ever since. I was raised on the west side of Chicago. I got my first job at 14, and I learned early what it means to work hard and earn an honest living. My demographic told me I should be a Democrat, but I didn't fit that mold. I saw through a party that promises prosperity, but leaves people behind. For too long, career politicians on the left have ignored people like us. And it's time we did something about it. I'm proud to join Darren Bailey and the movement to restore Illinois, to lower taxes, make our streets safer, grow the economy to attract business, educate a new generation, and make Illinois livable again. We're not the political class. We're not the Springfield elite. We're one of you. Will you join us?
They will. They'll join us right now. State Senator Darren Bailey and his running mate, Stephanie Trussell. Darren, Stephanie.
Hey, good morning.
With us. Appreciate it. Yeah, good morning. So, Darren, we'll start with you. Why the decision to ask Stephanie Trussell to run with you?
Well, we, through a lot of prayer, a lot of, conversations, a lot of interviews, we had some amazing candidates that we interviewed and chose. And Stephanie it just seemed obvious her values aligned with mine. It's interesting when you choose someone for this position, the political pundits and the ideas are that you want someone a little different from you that maybe attracts, liberals, for instance. And that was definitely a temptation that we faced. And I just, I don't align myself with people who are not like-minded. And it's that simple. Something, this is bigger than me. If something happens to me, I want someone, my passion is for the state of Illinois, and I want someone who will carry on those ideals, in the governorship. And Stephanie is that person. She's got the story. She's got the life. She's got the family. She's living it. And Cindy and I fell in love with her and her family, and we're very proud to have her as our running mate.
And
she
Stephanie,
is the right person.
For those of us who don't, I know Dan knows about you. I'm familiar with your back history, but tell us why you think you're qualified for the position. Stephanie, are you there?
Oh, I'm so sorry. I thought you were talking to Darren.
No,
yes, I'm here.
Yeah.
No, I'm so sorry. I was really listening. Well, I know I'm qualified, as Darren mentioned, just my background. And being raised in Chicago, loving Illinois, just overcoming so many obstacles that so many people do. There's nothing special about my story. It's just the grittiness of being raised by a determined mom, a very hardworking mother, and just the values that I developed living on the west side of Chicago. It was a place where families could sit outside and play, never ever having to worry about their safety. One of my favorite things is that my first job at 14, I could take my paycheck and walk 4 blocks to Madison and Pulaski and spend my money in my community. Recently, I drove my mom to her best friend's funeral, and we drove through that exact same intersection. All the stores that I grew up going to that were on State Street in Chicago, they're gone. The only people making money, the only people boldly selling things are the drug dealers literally standing in the street. I am concerned about the forgotten people, that people in Chicago, the elected officials, we know that Governor Pritzker and Lori Lightfoot, they're not thinking about those people that in the communities I grew up in. Being a Republican in this packaging, a lot of people accuse me of forgetting where I came from. When I get off the expressway, I would get off very often on my way to the radio station and drive through my old block, and I think these people forgot where I came from. It's not the same neighborhood. All the schools that my peers went to are closed. The grocery stores that we used to try to decide which one to go to, my mom's favorite or my stepdad's favorite, both of those grocery stores are no longer there. I'm so passionate about Illinois. I fled Illinois for 2 years, came right back to fight for my state. I mean, I need all the qualifications as far as I'm old enough, and I'm a resident for Illinois. And everybody that has the opportunity to listen to me for those 7 years on WLS and the few months I spent there at 560, they know my heart, they know my passion, and I'm ready to fight. And it's just so exciting to join Darren Bailey's team. My first day yesterday, I was energized by all the people that we had an opportunity to talk to. I've never really spent time south of Dwight because that's where my kids play football and volleyball. But to go to these small communities that I've never heard of these towns and to meet people that are drawn to Darren Bailey, it's such a pleasure to jump on the bus with him and his team and just be part of this movement.
Yeah, be careful. He may have you work on the family farm if you're not careful.
You know what? I wouldn't be opposed to that. We ran a family business for years, and I know the integrity. And that's one of the things that drew me to Darren Bailey. So many people are marking the day their last kid graduates so they can get out of Illinois. People like Darren Bailey and other people that are invested in Illinois, farmers can't just pack up their farm and leave. We need good people to stay here and fight for people that truly love our state.
Tell us more about the business, because I recall you and your husband had a catering business, right?
Well, for years we did almost anything. We were really hustling to raise our children out in Lisle. My husband, we ran a pool concession for years. And we did a nut hut where you would go to festivals and we'd be making cinnamon roasted nuts and the kettle corn. My husband spent 12 years at Northern Illinois University, and as food and beverage director. Okay, and so now we're opening up a new business, but we know what it's like to start a business, and especially what happened in this pandemic when they closed businesses and good, hardworking people were told they were not essential. Darren Bailey is not going to do that. He understands the commitment that it takes to open up a business. He wants to attract business to Illinois, not drive people away with all the regulations and all the things. And people are just afraid to open a business because they never know when J.B. Pritzker might decide their business isn't essential.
So Stephanie, you're from the suburbs. You just mentioned Lisle, so you're out in DuPage County. You know the challenge and the handle on Darren is he's from downstate. Got a bit of a twang in his voice. He's not going to play in the suburbs and Chicago. How do you respond to that?
You know, I love his twang in his voice. When we first met in my first interview, that's how I opened the conversation. I love your accent. I'm blown away that people live in our state talk like that, and it's so endearing to me. That's unfortunate that people have that impression that someone so far down can't relate to the people in the suburbs. We all have a vested interest in our children. My son's a junior, but my granddaughter's a first grader. She's a first grader that doesn't know what her teacher's face looks like. I think everybody, I don't care where you live in Illinois, is concerned about the mandates and people trying to tell us how to raise our children. What the left is doing, they're trying to take the P out of PTA, and Darren Bailey's committed to encouraging parental involvement. So I think he can relate to those moms, suburban moms like myself. I used to be the minivan driving mom, so now I'm down to an SUV now. But everyone can relate to loving Illinois, wanting to have our freedoms back. And as Amy has said, I follow you guys. I listen to you guys every morning. We are an island here in the Midwest. Mm-hmm. No one else is doing mask mandates. Why is he holding on to this power, trying to control us? This is a great state. We think it's deep blue, but after just one day on the bus with Darren and his team, this is a state filled with people that we have so many common interests. We love Illinois, and it shouldn't be ruled by the collar counties around Chicago. That doesn't reflect the true voice and opinion of the people living in Illinois.
They're trying to take the P out of PTA. That sounds like a commercial. I like that. That's a pretty good line. Oh. It seems to me that your value proposition as a ticket is going to be authenticity. And to a certain extent, even though Darren's an office holder, and I say even though in Illinois, because of course that is a pejorative to hold office in Illinois, but is that fair? I mean, is this going to be a team that sort of leans into the who you are, as opposed to sort of trying to middle everything, and we're gonna do this over here, and we're gonna massage these people over there? Because the elections are about contrast, and it seems to me that's the value add that you have as a team as compared to maybe what else is out there, at least right now. Jump ball, anybody wants that.
I didn't know. Well, the whole thought, this is brand new to me. I'm very excited. Obviously, on the radio for 7.5 years, I've interviewed so many politicians and candidates. I think people know our core values and what we believe in, and we won't abandon them. And that's what's important. Everything that I believe, I certainly was given the opportunity every weekend and sometimes during the week just to go on and talk about what I believe in. So everyone knows who I am, and I would never abandon them. I would never say anything that wasn't genuine and what I believed in. And that's the one thing that attracts me to Darren Bailey and his team, is that when he says something, it's true, and that if we put our trust in him and we send him to Springfield, that he will not turn around like the last Republican governor and abandon the values that we believe. And that's what hopefully people will all get on board with that. And I'm talking on the radio for 7.5 years. I was speaking and talking to my base, but now I want to encourage people that may not consider the Republican Party, but decide, wait a minute, we're all in the same boat here. We all love our children. We all love our state. We want to stay here. We don't want to leave. And so that's what I'm very excited about, getting that message out. We have 2 more days on the bus tour. I am energized by an opportunity to just talk to people beyond the collar counties. And it's just a very exciting opportunity that I do not take for granted. This is just an amazing time in my life. And I think it's a great time to be a Republican in Illinois. And certainly the East Coast, those elections are very inspiring that, hey, you know what, we can do something here. I don't know about turning the state red right away in the next election, but certainly a nice shade of purple. So I'm very confident that we can attract people that normally wouldn't look at us. Yeah.
And Darren, I'm going to keep on this because I know who you are, and I know what you're going to do if you were elected. So I don't have I have
faith,
complete confidence in that. But how is the reception in the suburbs, and how are you dealing with the skeptics?
Well, the skeptics seem to be the political elites, the same people that have kept us hostage for forever, the same people who have driven Illinois in the ground, the same people who yet stand here today and tell us that they got the answers. Trust them. Those are the skeptics. What we're doing is bypassing that, just like I did 3 years ago when I ran for a state representative for the first time. We're going to the people, and I encourage everyone, follow our social media, especially on Facebook, and you can see right away how the reception's going. Or even, I'll even say so much, even downtown, in your areas, downtown Chicago, Cindy and I are just constantly being invited to one-on-one meetings, to small community meet and greets in the churches. People are hungry for, as you said, authenticity. Yep. They see it in us. They believe that we will do what we say, and no, it's going very, very well. We are very encouraged, and we'll bypass the political pundits, and we will go to the people. That's what I've been doing now for 3 years, and that's what's going to change Illinois.
Yep,
The
this
website.
is the time to do it.
Yeah, the website, Bailey for Illinois, baileyforillinois.com. State Senator Darren Bailey and his newly minted running mate, Stephanie Trussell. Darren, Stephanie, thanks so much for joining us. Good luck on the trail.
Thank you for the opportunity.
It was my pleasure.
Thank you. And they both joined us on our turnkey.pro answer line.
Connect with Dan and Amy on the AM 560 The Answer mobile app. Just text the word app to 64636 to download the app today.
It happens every year. Winter. Delivering and receiving supplies and getting people where they need to go can be impossible. Keeping your business's doors and gates working properly to keep out the extreme weather is a major concern. Your business can't afford a loss of income or productivity. Think ahead this winter and call Industrial Door Company of Chicago, Inc. for your commercial door maintenance and security tune-up now. You can't always plan when your doors break down, and it always seems to come at the least convenient time. Industrial Door Company will ensure your doors, grills, gates, and dock equipment are working to specification and give you advice on how to increase the life of your doors. Go online to see a range of products and services at industrialdoor.com and call anytime, 847-258-5620. Their team will be there before the extreme cold weather causes financial losses for your company and assist in your time of need. Since 1982, the Industrial Door Company of Chicago, Inc. takes care of your doors so you can take care of business.
Signature Bank is Chicago's fastest growing independently owned business bank. It's